Hello everyone, welcome to Aqf TCG. Today I'll be showcasing my Thavas deck profile, as a lot of people are asking me for my Thavas deck build. And this deck is very strong, and basically is one of the strongest and one of the highest offense in the G format decks. And I've been having a lot of successful tourneys with this deck, and helped me to win a lot of tournaments. So yeah, let's get right into it. First off, the starter Vanguard, I'll be running Bubble Age Draco Kit. The skill is Forerunner, and the second skill is put this unit in, if you have an Aqf Thavas Vanguard, put this unit into the soul and choose one of your Aqf Thavas unit in play, and it gains the following ability. At the Vanguard or Regular Circle, whenever this unit attacks, as long as it's 4th battle or more, it draw once, so help you to increase your hand size. So yeah, Bubble Age Draco Kit, very good for starter. Moving on to the next grid 3. Moving on to grid 3, I'll be running the main style of the deck. Will be 4 pieces of this Thavas. I'm trying to get the SP version, so yeah. First skill, Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks, if it's the 4th battle or more, this unit gains +1 critical, and your opponent cannot call any grade 0 to the Guardian Circle. Basically, it's a silent Tom. So yeah. And then the second skill is, when a G unit strike on top of this unit, it gains the following ability. Whenever any of your units attack, if it's a 4th battle of that turn, you choose 3 of your opponent's units in play. Up to 3 of your opponent's units in play, your opponent choose 1 and retire it. So yeah, help you to gain control, help you to retire of your opponent's unit. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we run 4 because this deck is running a lot of heavy name restrictions. So yeah. And then moving on to the next grid 3, I'll be running 2 pieces of these Skiros. Skiro skill is Generation Break 1. At the all of your front row units gain resist, and the second skill is, when this unit comes into play in the Vanguard Circle, and you can choose one of your opponents choose one of your units in play, and it gains the following ability. At Vanguard or Regular Circle, and whenever as long as it's 3rd battle or more, which is 3rd wave or more, 三回以这样. And then when this unit attacks, you can check the top 5 cards of your deck and add 1, and among it search for 1 grade 3 and add it to your hand, show it to your opponent, and shuffle your deck afterwards. So yeah, help you to increase your hand size, and also increase the chances for you to strike next turn. So that's pretty good. And then this card help you to gain a better favorable matchup against Narukami, Link Joker, Chaos Breaker aside, yeah, and also Gargoyle related. So yeah, 2 is enough because you won't run into them often. And then I'll be running 2 pieces of this Benedict. Basically, it's a grade 3 title assault. The skill is, when this unit attacks, if you have Aqf Thavas Vanguard, you may stand this unit, and this unit is minus 5,000, and this ability cannot be used more than once per turn. So yeah. And then moving on to the grade 2, I'll be running 4 pieces of this title assault, which is the grade 2 version of this. The skill is, if you control an Aqf Thavas Vanguard, and at the end of battle this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may stand this unit. If you do, this unit get minus 5,000 power, and the ability cannot be used more than once per turn. So yeah. And then the next grid 2, I'll be running 2 pieces of this Couple Dagger Seller. Basically, it's a better version of Basil, just that you need a Carbas one. So yeah, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's the 1st battle of that turn, you may pay the cost for counterblast 1. If you do, this unit gains plus 2000 power, so basically it's at 11k. Basically it's a Diamantis, but it's a grade 2, and at the end of battle, this unit attacks and choose one of your unit in the same column of this unit and swap it. So yeah, basically it's Diamantis and Basil clone, but it's 11k, so it's very good. And then moving on, I'll be running 3 pieces of this Magnet Assault. Skill is Generation Break 1, once per turn. When this unit attacks, at the end of battle, this unit attacks a Vanguard, and if this unit is boosted, you may pay the cost of counterblast 1. If you do, you may stun this unit, and this unit gains plus 2000 power. Do note that even if you are not boosted and you attack opponent's Vanguard with this unit, you still miss the timing and you are unable to trigger it anymore. It's a ruling problem, so yeah, do take note. Yeah, I run 3 because there's another grade 2 that I'm running, which is pretty useful. I'm running 3 pieces of this Adilite. The skill is Generation Break 1. When this unit appears on the rearguard circle, and if you control a Vanguard with Thavas in the name, and your Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, and if you do, this unit gains plus 2000 power, and also the following ability. But provided you must pay the cost first, which is counterblast 1 and soulblast 1 when it appears on the rearguard circle, and it gains the ability to, at the end of battle, this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may stun this unit. So basically it's a Magnet Assault and a Tidal Assault, which is pretty good, but you can only use for one time usage, but it's very, very good. So yeah. And then moving on to the grade 1, I'll be running 4 pieces of this Unflippable Perfect Guard. Do note that this deck will be counterblasting a lot, so yeah, you will having an extra options to unflip is always better. And although a lot of people might say that you might want to guide your rearguard at times, but oh well, sometimes if you tend to guide your rearguards, and then you will tend to lose out on other stuff. But I like running Unflippable Perfect Guards, so yeah. And then the next grade 1, I'll be running 4 pieces of this Strike Folder, which is when this unit comes to play, and show a grade 3 from your hand to your opponent, and if you do, search your deck for 1 Thavas and add it to your hand, and discard 1 card from your, and discard 1 card. And then basically help you to fix your Vanguard, just in case you wouldn't want to write into Benedict. And also it's a Strike Folder. When this unit is being paid for strike cost, it's plus 2 grade, so yeah, 4 copy since it's a strike deck. And then I'll be running 3 pieces of this Millennia. This is very, very, very good. It's one of the key cards that help me won a lot of games because it's helped me to increase my hand size. With Lumbros, it can help me to plus 2 for that turn. The skill is Generation Break 1, 3rd wave or more. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost of counterblast 1, and if you control a Thavas Vanguard, you can pay the cost. And if you do, this unit gains plus 5000 power and you draw 1. So basically it's a 12k attacker if you control a Thavas Vanguard, and it helps you to gain your hand size, so yeah, why not. And then it's a resist unit, so yeah, it's pretty good. And then moving on to the last grade 1, I'll be running 2 pieces of this Stasia. Basically it's Generation Break 1, and when this unit attacks from back row, and he gains the following ability, which is this unit can attack from back row and also plus 3000 power. So basically it's a back row 9k attacker, so help you to kill off opponents' intercepts, and also yeah, help you to generate extra attacks. And then moving on to triggers, I'll be running 4 pieces of this Supersonic Sailor. Basically help you to unflip, which is put this unit into soul if you control Aqf Thavas Vanguard. If you do, then unflip 1 damage. And then I'll be running 3 pieces of this generic Persona crit, and which is for Thavas. The skill is whenever your Vanguard attacks, and it has Thavas in the name, which is grade 3 or above, and you may pay the cost, which is put this unit into. So if you do, you draw 1 card, and your Vanguard gains plus 5000 power. So help you to gain higher power, and also help you to pull off a 16k Silent Tom, just in case if you want it. So yeah, and it's foil, so why not? And then I'll be running 4 pieces of this Magao clone, which is put this in your unit into soul and choose one of your Aqf Thavas unit in play, and it gains plus 3000 power. So it's a Malika. And then I'll be running 1 more draw, which is 7 crit, 5 draw, and 4 heal. That's all for the main deck. Now moving on to Strike Zone. As for Strike Zone, it's very easy. It's pure offense for me. So I'll be running 4 of these Commander Thavas, which came out from the Clan Booster 2. The skill is once per turn, flip itself face up, and if you do, choose one of your units in play, and it gains plus 5000 power, and a new skill, it can attack from back row. And then following tags, Generation Break 3, 4th battle or more. When this unit attacks, if it's 4th battle or more, choose 3 of your opponents. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, choose 3 of your opponent's unit, and basically all of your units gains the following ability, which is choose 3 of your opponent's unit, and your opponent choose 1 and retire it. So basically it's the same as the grade 3 Thavas. So just in case if you strike Commander Thavas on Thavas, it gains 2 skill, and you can choose 3 of your opponent's unit whenever your unit attacks opponent's Vanguard during the 4th battle, and your opponent choose 2 to retire it, or you can choose 6, your opponent choose 2 to retire it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Most of the time I'll run this for my first strike, because just for the 5000 power and also the ability from attacking from behind. So yeah, it's always good. And then the next strike, I will be running 4 Lambroke, which is Lambros. The skill is when this unit attacks, you may flip itself face up, and if it's the 4th battle or more, you may pay the cost, which is flip itself face up. And if you do, stand 2 of your units in play, and if you have 2 G zone which is face up, and both of the stand unit gain plus 10,000 power. So yeah, help you to mill down all your opponent resources and win games. And then you have extra options. If you have a lower budget, you can remove 2 Commander Thavas and put these 2 instead, which is Tidal Ball. And the skill is 3rd battle. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if it's a 3rd battle or more, and if it attacks hit, you can draw 1 and choose 1 card from your hand and superior call it to your Rega's circle. So yeah, help you to pressure opponent. But Thavas is much better in this case, because it helps you to go full offense. And the next option you can run is Aristotle. Basically the skill is when this unit attacks the Vanguard and it doesn't require to hit, and if it's a 3rd battle or more, you can count +1 and choose 1 of your opponent's unit and retire it. So basically help you to retire your opponent's key units, such as like starters or boosters or intercepts. So yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, that's all for my Thavas deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. Do like and subscribe my channel for more future updates. Peace.